What's up, my peeps? Mark Price here at DevSlopes.com in case you've forgotten. And if you're new to DevSlopes and new to my courses, you're going to hear that a lot. That's okay. You're going to learn to love it. I've had some people who are like, oh, this rock and roll music, it's driving me crazy. You do it over and over and over again. But then everyone else is like, this is so cool. It gets me motivated, gets me excited, gets the energy going, because most of you guys are like doing this after work, at nighttime. I'm doing it here near midnight. You got to have something to wake you up and excite you about coding. If you find coding boring, it doesn't have to be. Okay, so that's my inspiration for the hour. Of course, this lesson's not going to be that long, I hope. We are going to go ahead and get started with the playground. And today we're going to finish our discussion on making conditional decisions. And we're going to talk about logical operators today. We've talked about Booleans already. We've talked about if statements and else statements. Those are called conditionals. Now we're going to talk about logical operators. So, logical operators, all right? Next time you go out on a date, this is what I want you to do. Be like, hey, do you want to see my logical operators? And your date's going to be like, this guy's awesome, or this girl's cool. Serious. Do it all the time. All right, don't do that. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go here into our bools and comparisons. Well, let's call this logical operators. A new folder. There we go. Okay, so again, we've talked about trues and falses and everything else. Let's talk about how to make decisions, more decisions, how to make more better decisions. And one more I wanted to reemphasize on was that urinary operator. It's also a logical not operator, if that makes any sense. So logical not operator, that's actually the way you say it. It's also a urinary prefix operator. Again, those are just some terms for you there. So what is that? Well, let's say allowed entry equals false. Okay. And there we go. It's like giving us an error. And so a let, what is a let? A let is a constant. It means it cannot be changed. So I cannot say allowed entry equals true. Okay, so you've got variables and you've got constants. One you can change, one you can't change. That's all you got to know about it. Pretty dang simple. Okay, so allowed entry equals false. Okay, you can't get in, right? You can't get in the building. So if not allowed entry, print access denied. Okay, so logical not operator. What it's really saying is it's the opposite of this, more or less. So if allowed entry is true, well, we're not doing that check. We're saying if allowed entry is not true. So this would be the exact same thing as writing if allowed entry is not equal to true. That's the exact same thing, except this is a little more writing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different characters that you have to write, or actually 5 more characters than you'd need to write on there, plus a space. Anyway, and it's long. So when you become a more veteran programmer, you're going to start using this a lot more. Sometimes it makes sense to say this when you're new because it's easier to read. Okay, and go ahead and do it. From now on, you can feel free to do this if it's not equal to true. But the not operator is a quick shorthand way to say not. Okay, if this is not true. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, just re-emphasizing that. You're going to see it a lot in other people's code. A step further. Okay. Let, again, constants. You always want to use constants whenever you're not going to change the value. If you are going to change the value, use a variable. But if you know you're not going to change the value, use a constant. It's memory optimized, okay? So very important to use constants at all possible. Entered door code. Oh, okay. So now we're entering a door code equals true. Okay. And let's say there's also a retina scan. Ooh, it's like Metal Gear Solid here, okay? Past retina scan equals false. You know, some high-tech stuff, you know. Remember that game? You'd like go and then like the original very first one, it was just the coolest of them all, I think. You'd go, you'd knock on the crate and the really dumb AI would come running around, and then after they felt like the noise was no longer threatening, you know, they would just chill. Completely irrelevant. Okay. When it's midnight, when you're making videos at midnight, you can say whatever you want. And when you've got all these people watching you, it's how it's going to be. Try and stop me. Camera. You guys aren't even here. Maybe if you were here. What we're going to do is we're going to use logical operators to make some decisions. So let's say we want the user or the person who's coming in to enter the door code and pass the retina scan. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if entered door code and passed retina scan, okay, we're going to print welcome. However, okay, remember the movie Mission Impossible? Like, they're reviewing, the CIA bunker and how to get in. The guy has to go through all these steps of the retinal scan. They knew that they couldn't do it. So this is the way you do it. You enter a door code and you do a retinal scan. But, so let's say I am Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible. So if entered door code and pass retina scan, or if I am Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, then we can get in. Print welcome. And sure enough, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise is in the door. But of course, I am not Tom Cruise. So what is this here? This is the logical OR operator. Okay, so what's going to happen is the right side's going to be calculated first here. Okay. All right. And so if this is true, okay, it's going to see this OR operator, and then it doesn't even care about this. Okay. If this is true, because OR means one or the other has to be true. So this side's going to get run, and if that's true, great. Otherwise, or let's run this. And so then we do if this is true and if this is true. Okay, so then what we're saying here is, hey, both of these have to be true using the AND operator here. So this is OR, this is AND. Okay, this is why it was printing when he was Tom Cruise, right? Because the one on the right was true, and we didn't even need to care about this one on the left over here. So pretty cool, huh? Also, of course, so access is denied, okay, because we haven't passed the retina scan yet. Okay, so else, or if you enter the door code and you pass the retina scan, or if I'm Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, we're in. Else, print access denied again. Okay, so else print access denied again. All right, so what we've done here is before we just did a not operator. Here we're doing an and operator. I mean, these both have to be true. We also used an or operator. So or if you're Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, you're gonna climb through and you're gonna fall down through the roof, and you don't need the retina. You don't need the friggin' retina scan. Okay. All right, so cool stuff, right? And let's do one more example of the or operator here. Okay. We're going to say let has door key equals false. Okay. So has door key equals false. Let knows override password equals true. Okay. Then what we can do, this is kind of like the Tom Cruise example, right? If has door key or if knows override password, then prints welcome. Okay, same thing, or one or the other. The right one's going to be processed first, this knows override password, and if this is true, then it doesn't even need to do anything with the left-hand side. If it is false, then it's going to move to the left-hand side over there. Okay, else you still ain't getting in, fool, whatever, right? So and or. Okay, pretty cool, right? So with these logical operators, you can use parentheses. You don't need to. Okay, they're optional, but sometimes they help with readability. Okay, like this right here. This helps me let me know that this is going to kind of run together, and this is over here. Sometimes people like to do that. You don't need to, of course, but they do work on that just fine. And we did use the and as well as the or over here. Okay, you can use logical operators in the same line. Really cool stuff. You're going to use these a lot when you're making conditional logic. That's how all programs are run, and this is a perfect example right here. If you were actually building an app let's say, even some phone apps or phones, like they now have retinal scanning and stuff, like to unlock the phone, or even on the iPhone, you can use your thumb, so if the thumbprint worked, or, if it detected your face, then you're in. There's lots of different options here, and these are real world examples that we're using here. So logical operators, you're going to use them every single day. It's going to take practice. Doing this here in the playground, it's okay, but when you start actually building apps, it's really going to start to sink in. So really good stuff. Plowing along here in foundational Swift. Hope you're learning a lot. Mark Price at devslopes.com. See you soon.